Vicki, and I also understand that you take some objective measures. You mentioned some assessments that you use. Could you say a little bit about how you measure how the person was feeling as reported in their measurements before they did the retreat?
Yes.
And then later?
Yeah, there's at least 3 different ways that I do measures. And that comes from my background. I have a corporate background, have run clinics, and have overseen research, including an art study that we did briefly that was exciting. So I administer an anxiety screen as well as depression, also a post-traumatic stress. It's called PTSD or PCL for those of you who are out there in the clinical field. And also I do administer one that's called ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences Screen. That's 10 questions that have been identified as some of the main experiences of distress that children may experience under the age of 18. On the opposite side, I also administer a resiliency screen. I also administer those at the end of the training. Whatever the last day is, it could be day 2, day 3, day 5. So I administer the anxiety, the depression, as well as PTSD. And the scores go down. All I can say is, disclaimer, you never know, but all I can say is the people have had dramatic drops in their scores, often down to 0 from being in the severe range of depression, anxiety, or PTSD. 2 other measures. The other is the art therapy process utilizes what's called a SUDS scale, which is distress.
Subjective units.
Subjective units of distress. I always stumble in the first word. And we do that from 0 to 10. When you start going through the scene, what do you experience on a scale of 0 to 10, the highest? And when you complete, how much has it dropped? The third measure that I administer is my whiteboard. The whiteboard actually, when they are completing a scene that they have worked on, they feel it's done. I give them the opportunity to take the eraser and erase it off the board. That's actually an extension of art therapy. We actually have a process called erase, replace. And so they are physically experiencing putting it in the past. When I ask them what's helpful, what's not helpful, they say it's powerful to be able to go there and erase that off that screen. It just really integrates the fact that I can move on to the next.